Hello everybody, and welcome back to The Sinking City. 2118. I think that was what it was set. Let's see what that loads. We can find great treasure inside. Areas infested with monsters. The man-eating eels don't care if you're a strong swimmer. Avoid staying in the water for too long. Okay. Supernatural abilities give you an edge over common sleuths. Use your mind's eye to uncover hidden details. Recent cataclysmic flood left the city's poorer neighborhoods a sodden ruin. The ensuing chaos made large-scale repairs impossible. Pin evidence on the map to mark its presumed location. Most of the Blackwoods vanished after the flood, leaving the Throgmortons and the Carpenters as the two remaining grand families. The casebook of Mind Palace contained the information you need to figure out your next investigative step. You've traced the recent cases of mass hysteria in Massachusetts to the Sea of Oakmont. Now you need to find the cause or succumb to it yourself. Interesting. So let's go ahead and answer some questions. Let's solve a murder case. Far from the... Okay, so this put me back, I think, over here.
Oh. Hey, got a spare bullet, fella? I ain't eaten in days. Hey, when I asked for a bullet, I didn't mean getting shot.
My bad.
You look familiar.
Okay, so we'll go back in here. We'll talk with the guy, of course.
Stay alert.
Monsters Carpenter's food get away with this darn everyone. Knock it off. You want a drink? You want a drink? What the? Get them! Oh.
We're back to this guy.
I told you the truth, I swear. Please, I told you the truth. I swear.
Okay. Let's see. What did we ever put anything together? Psychic influence and Aunt Lewis was out to murder Albert Throgmorton. He had a motive, too. The mutual hatred between Smith servants. Must tell Robert Throgmorton the truth and bring the murderer to justice. Okay, so that was what I had determined. I hopped off of here after hearing him and, you know, the bribes and stuff and everything. And yeah, he might have the whole family bit. I did see the picture. He's still, in my opinion, it's not because he's a fish guy, but because he was very shaky, and not in the, like, nervous, I just killed a guy way, but, like, he got nervous and shaky when we talked about it, like it was eating at him. Like, he knows he did wrong, but I don't think it was just the psychic influence. Like, the other guy said he kind of woke up and had his head shaking in there. So here's my conclusion. He chased him, like what we investigated. We seen the bullet shell casings, and he chased him all the way in there, and then he did put him up on the hooks and he hit him. This psychic influence, I don't think would have hidden his body, would have done all that. A lot of it seemed deliberate, like he was trying to hide it, and he was trying to, it just, they hate each other. So instead of giving him the whole benefit of the doubt, I'm gonna go ahead and tell him what he did.
So the fisherman pursued him. Mr. Throgmorton, I've encountered something.
What? I don't have all day.
Some unusual creatures. And they sure weren't friendly.
You've seen the wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. The
Wild
giant
beast.
things appeared after the flood. I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible, and when you can't, keep your weapons handy.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news. Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry. He was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hit.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
I've tracked down your son's murderer.
Who is he?
And just as I suspected, the Innsmouther Lewis is responsible for your son's murder. He's hiding at the local bar. Just ask the bartender. Seems like you had a bone to pick with your friend. And took it out on Albert.
Oh, that scum won't be getting off easy. The whole city shall see what happens when you cross the Throgmortons. Justice, bittersweet as it is, shall be served. It's rare for a newcomer to make himself so useful. Thank you.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Carry to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime that brings comfort, but I digress. Remind me, what brought you to your boat?
I think I'm going mad, Mr. Throgmorton. I see things, visions, and I needed to stop. I was drawn here, guided. But I believe the source of this madness is here. No hunt.
You're not wrong, Mr. Reed. An inexplicable hysteria spread through it right after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
A geological expedition? I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness are the same source. As above, so below. So I sent men to find out.
Above, so below.
These cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well.
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares. Indeed, Professor Doe, the expedition leader, complained of them herself.
Waterlogged ruins with unnatural architecture, sleeping giants, crime streets, and a voice calling from the depths.
Her words exactly. She proposed the expedition, desperately wanted to find the cause.
You mentioned a flood. Do you think it's more than just a natural disaster?
You weren't here, Mr. Reed. What happened defied scientific explanation.
Ooh.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it. His passing cannot be coincidence. Why was he alone at the port? And where are the others?
Do you think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week that Albert, the only one I could trust, was ashore and is killed.
It does sound suspicious.
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition's results as I am.
If I'm going to look into this, I need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters.
Ooh.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear. You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throgmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all preparations to Professor Doe, and when you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Road. Here, I'll show you.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your work here at the port. I'll also include a fair advance in bullets.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean more than bills.
Oh. Antipsychotics, Lost Expedition. Okay. Cool. Lost at sea. Well, okay then. So that was what he showed. Oh, this. Yeah, this is a large map. Okay then.
I gave you clear instructions.
I've said everything I know.
Okay, he's still in that dialogue. Stations is in the northern cover side at the crossroad. Cover side. Haven Bay. Crossroad of Asher Road and Herbert Avenue. Or Hubert. So that's right here. Oh, that's a ways. Okay then, so I'm assuming the cops have left their barricade? There we go. Yep. So you solve that case, and then you can explore everything else. Okay. Oh, crap. Oh, what's he gonna experience now? The hell? The hell am I? Robert Throgmorton funded expedition to discover the origin of the mass hysteria gripping Oakmont. The expedition was to explore the seabed near Oakmont. Contact with the expedition was soon lost. Albert Throgmorton was the only known survivor. He was subsequently murdered. Doors that can be opened are marked with special hobo sign. I was hired to find any other expedition members dead or alive. Throgmorton will be waiting for my report in his manor in southern Old Grove. Huh. Okay then. Costume unlocked, daywear.
Crew of the Cyclops. Semper Fortis, brothers.
My diary, part 1. I don't know what exactly sank the USS Cyclops, only remember the screams and the metal creaking, water filling the deck, and my headache, the worst I've ever had. I found myself among the floating seaweed, drowning. A nearby piece of a boat helped me survive and reach the shore of a small island. They found me on it later, starving, half-mad, bubbling about the ancient ruins and their denizens. The officials said none of what I thought I'd seen was real, but my memories are true. My strange powers gained after that ordeal prove it. I found something horrible on that island, something old and dark and slithering, and it still haunts me. Okay. Plea for help. Dear Mr. Reed, I understand you are the private eye that caught the murderer in the port. My life is in danger and I cannot trust anyone in this city. Please come to my room, which is just opposite yours. I am in despair. My studies have drawn the attention of vile forces. They stalk me and will take me soon. I have cast my lot and am beyond saving, but the 7 books must be saved at any cost. Even if I'm gone, find my notes there. This knowledge must not be lost, as it could be our kind's last hope for enlightenment. Please be the bearer of this light, for I have failed. Okay, Mystic Tomes. Very Lovecraftian.
Never again, they say.
All that we see or seem is just a dream within a dream. Uh-huh.
Never again, they say.
Alright then, free stuff and antipsychotics. Oh, okay. That's what they're talking about. Well then. What the hell? Okay. Well, that's an interesting outfit. Help the police officer get crime scene photos. Let me see, ship logs. Rob Graves. Daywear. Gangster. Wind coat. Newcomer. Gangster. King's robes. Go ahead and take the wind coat. That looks dope. There we go. Laudanum. Oh, geez, he takes that stuff.
No matter how much of this I chug down, the visions always return.
He's drinking. Okay. Raids on Innsmouthers. The number of attacks on the Innsmouth immigrants has increased. Raids are intensifying, and more Innsmouthers exposed to abuse and assault. Sometimes whole families are found dead in their houses. Police are on the case, with several illegal Innsmouther businesses captured and their owners sent to jail. This city ought to have been cleaned of these fish-faced scum long ago, said Robert Throgmorton, head of the Throgmorton Grand family. I regret only one thing. It all started too late. Had we not neglected our civic duties, my son Albert would still be here with us. Nasty. Okay, then. I don't think there's anything else in here worth investigating, so... Note from... Oh, Johannes Vanderberg. Mr. Reed, it seems you have overexerted yourself while conducting the investigation for Mr. Throgmorton. Forgive me for the audacity, but I brought you to the Devil's Reef while you were unconscious. Please take more care of yourself in the future. I won't be there for you every time. Thank you, Johannes. Room opposite. Talking with locals is never easy, but this old chap was one of the queerest yet. He was happy to talk about the book, but only laughed when I proposed to buy it. I left it in the most guarded place in the city and paid enough to keep it there until the world ends. And if it is abandoned after the flood, even better. Ignorance is the best guardian. I'm guessing you meant the abandoned bank building in Northern Advent on Forefather Street between Helog Street and Windhalf Avenue. Alas, it would be too dangerous to go there by myself. Book in the bank. Okay. The Tome of the Mayor. The fishermen talk of a place near Blackwood Manor on the southern part of Whisper Street where meetings occur in the dead of night. The locals don't like this part of eastern Grimhaven Bay because they seem to fear those who gather near the half-built ships. They say a certain book is read at these meetings, a cursed tome that makes people so crave the sea's touch that they go and drown in the ocean. The one reading the book stands on a cursed boat and sinks in the fog. Those who saw it touch the shore have either gone mad or disappeared. Bewitched Tome. The local legends may be more than mere superstition. A dozen witches were hanged on a huge apple tree that still grows near the cider mill. Among these documents is a confession. One of the witches said the devil himself granted them a book with words of power. This book hides itself from mortal eyes, waiting for the witches to be reborn and return to claim it. The witch who wrote this confession lived in Eastern Reed Heights, somewhere north of the intersection of Communion Road and Museum Avenue. Could the book still be hidden there? The Wheel Tome. I had a dream so real, it still makes my hand shake. A huge Ferris wheel rose amidst the city. People got on and rode it higher and higher before jumping off at its peak. As the pile of corpses grew bigger, the crowd pushed me to the wheel, and then I saw a man with a leather bag. He was standing in the center of the wheel and reading from a book. His awful dirge was making the wheel rotate and dragging the crowd to their slaughter. Could this vision be real? I know there is a Ferris wheel at the park in western Old Grove near Century Avenue and Beacon Street, but where could the book be? He's around on these tomes. Waiting book. Building the church was his redemption. Day after day, he worked without payment, carrying stones and putting them in the moist soil of Salvation Harbor. At night, when he returned to his house behind the church, he could not sleep. The book his ancestors brought across the ocean called. When the church was built, the priest found him hanged on the bell ropes, but the book is still waiting for someone to come and read it. His house is in Central Salvation Harbor on the Old Church Road between Seven Oak Street and Windhelm Street, and still has a bad fame, and no one wants to live there even after the flood. Oh. Hidden book. It took a lot of effort to track down this book. After being stolen from the Throgmorton Museum, it was bought by a local surgeon who was found dead in his house after the flood. I snuck in and checked out his place, but in vain. Still, there is somewhere else the tome may be. The private hospital in Western Reed Heights where the surgeon worked has been abandoned. The archives say it is on Bourbon Road between Innsmouth Road and Oak Street. The tome in the ruins. Did I read that one? Let's see. No. Still getting the hang of how to move things. I believe that's all 7. Local women were talking about a ruined house in Central Coverside near the radio tower on the crossing of Landing Avenue and Kingsport Street. They said the ghosts of the house owner and his family still read the unholy book they kept. Several newcomers who tried to settle in those ruins have gone mad. So, Tome in the Ruins, the Hidden Book, Waiting Book, the Tome of the Mare, Bewitched Tome, the Will Tome, Book in the Bank. Okay, so that's all the stuff that this guy, I guess, researched. The nightmares. I boarded up the windows and locked the door. They are just men, the Yellow Kings gang. They can't get here now. Now there's only me. Me and these nightmares. A little longer and I'll figure them out. Oh, Yellow Kings. So anybody that's played Dark Souls or Demon Souls is going to remember the old monk or King Xanthos. So, direct correlation to the Yellow Kings on that one. That is amazing. It's another thing. If you like the mythos behind Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and Bloodborne, then there's going to be a lot of references that'll make sense because they'll all be in this. Interesting. Lore. Let's go ahead and do an actual save. I hadn't made a single save. There we go.
Makes this place feel more like home. I miss Boston already.
So that was that guy's room. Keep it down. Mr. Archer, I've seen you dragging things into your room. Mind the floors. I'll make you pay for any scratches you leave. Your landlord.
The door won't
budge. Dragging things into his room. That's not shady at all. What do we have here? Too many coincidences. So the lighthouse is out. Several ships have gotten lost at sea, and some are now decorating the sea's beaches. That's one thing. But now there's an enterprising fellow at the city port hiring salvagers to recover ships. He's turning a tidy profit from selling them. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look into it. Now, if only the city wasn't so impossible to navigate. Oh. Ain't nothing like raiding people's rooms, apparently. Okay then. Interesting room. Look how that's the one like focal point in the whole thing.
Finally, you're awake. Gotta tell you though, mister, you wanna stay on here, you stop making all that noise.
Sorry. Who are you again?
You bang your head or something? I'm Victor Olmsted. I own the place. This place. The Devil's Reef Hotel.
Noise? What noise are you talking about?
I expect my guests to be respectable. Moans, chanting, all that kind of thing. It stops, all right?
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't really remember what happened, but I'll do my best.
Yeah? Well, next time it happens, you end up sleeping under the bridge like the other newcomers.
Not exactly friendly with your guests. Only the ones keeping me in business.
All these newcomers after the flood, they're stark raving mad.
What do you mean?
You can't imagine the crazy notes and books I find after they move out. Only thing they're good for is lighting the kitchen stove.
Can I have a look?
I knew it. I tell you, no one sane will be interested. And you want to take a look? Well, fine, fine. Take what you wish.
Letters from Oakmont. Oh, that's a lot of notes.
I'm watching you, newcomer.
Oh, jeez. Okay then. To Walter. Walter, Kay help you if I hear you're peddling your cheap, affordable living again. I could live with you renting out beast-ridden flop houses, but you're cutting into my profit. Don't make that mistake. I know you're on the fish market, and I have dangerous people living here that I can send after you. You've been warned, Vic. Okay then. People here are not the friendliest at all. We can see that. What about the hobo signs? Darren, I think we're finally starting to figure this out. Locals use signs to mark special places. That you know already. Kind of like the secret signs hobos use all over the country. What I learned is that the tradition dates back to times well before the flood. I've been able to find out the meaning of some of them. You've seen the crooked H-shaped sign on doors around town? That means that the house is inhabited. The crosshatch grid sign marks hidden caches of useful items. The V-shaped sign is for barricaded dangerous places. Good catch there, they say. Still haven't figured out the spiral-shaped sign, though. You'll have to investigate for yourself. And if you see a sign with a cross and 3 Ks, reach for the gun. K. Cross and 3 K. That's intriguing as hell. My dear nephew, my dear Victor, how's Oakmont treating you? Should you require any support, the Blackwoods will be happy to help you. I have arranged for that. Regarding your question, I don't know where Robert went, sadly, only that he did not stay in Innsmouth. Perhaps there is hope he didn't perish in that cursed raid. Take good care of the hotel, please. Plenty of our relatives are interested in the property, but you're still my favorite nephew. I know the Devil's Reef is in good hands. Kind regards, Aunt Portia. Curse over Innsmouth. I love it. The Lovecraft lore is pretty heavy, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Hope you don't mind me. I'm just taking your stuff. Devil's Reef. Yep. Not too bad. I do have a few things that I've got to do, so neat. So that's our fast travel point. Long distance service. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video. I'll make it just a short 30-minute one, everybody. I will get back to it where I can focus more, and I'll probably do like an hour to maybe even hour and a half, 2 hour long videos. But right now, we'll keep this one short. Went ahead and solved the case, got a little bit more of the story going. Seen the big, gaping, giant, friggin' toothy monster in the sky suck the guy up, and then he wakes up at the hotel, so it'll be interesting. At least story-wise. So I'll be going through those case notes later, and we'll figure out where to go from there. So, until that next time in that next video, remember to take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll talk with you all at another time. Remember to stay safe, everybody, and careful if you're one of those out there that's having to deal with the flooding. In real life, not on here. Farewell, everybody.